Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. What's the matter? Honorable Lucky, Honorable Catherine, Honorable Kitetu.
We are happy to see you.
Oh, you're happy to see me. Am I not the one supposed to be happy to see you? Okay. Okay, you're highly welcome. Good afternoon, members. May I invite you and welcome you to this afternoon sitting, and we can commence. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order. Sorry for that interruption. Let's proceed, clerk.
Order number 5, papers.
At this point, we have a paper to be laid. May I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Leader of Majority, MCA Machakos Central Ward, to proceed and lay the paper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 8th May 2024. The Kenya Informal Settlement Project, that is KISIP 2, Local Physical and Land Use Development Plans for Slaughter, Jam City, Kwamangeli, Kwanzomo, and Canaan Informal Settlements in Mavoko Municipality. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That paper is committed to Lands and Energy Committee. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
We have several statements, I think responses. And one statement is by Honorable Dominic Maitha, and then we have another one by Honorable Anastasia. Honorable Maitha, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And just before I proceed, if you allow me, Madam Speaker, we learn as we proceed in transacting our assembly business.
Sure.
And have today noted a serious breach of protocol. And it's imperative and important for these honorable members to realize that once the Speaker has entered the chamber, the Speaker cannot be interrupted whatsoever. Members have to wait for the Speaker to go through this assembly prayer, sit down, and then members can come in. But the Speaker had to wait for members to sit down and proceed with prayer. That is total breach of protocol.
It's members.
Honorable Speaker.
Noted that what Mheshimiwa Maitha has just observed. So let's make it better as we go on.
Honorable Speaker, the Select Committee of Implementation established pursuant to Standing Order number 198, and the committee is mandated to scrutinize the resolutions of the Assembly, including adopted committee reports, petitions, and undertakings given by the County Executive Committee. Honorable Speaker, in line with the above stated mandates, on April 17, 2024, during the afternoon plenary sitting, a statement on implementation status of projects in Masinga Central Ward by Honorable Joshua Monga as provided in the Annual Development Plan, that is the ADP for the financial year 2023-2024, was sought requesting to know the measures that the county government has put in place to ensure that the said projects are completed within the current financial year, noting that it is a constitutional requirement to ensure equitable sharing of the county resources. Honorable Speaker, based on the aforementioned task, the committee conveyed the sought statement to the County Secretary by the letter reference MKSCA/PSC/IMOLI/VOL.4/41, dated on 30th April 2024. The stated letter was responded through a letter reference GMC/2/CS/VOLX.22 Roman/53, dated on 3rd May of 2024. Honorable Speaker, the County Secretary stated that, in quote, the office of the County Secretary is not in the best position to provide the requested statement, reason being that implementation of projects across the various wards, as spelled out in the Annual Development Plan, is the responsibility of the respective chief officers or accounting officers, in quote. The above stated in office therefore directed the committee to seek the requested information directly from the responsible chief officers. I wish, Madam Speaker, you would protect me so that the honorable member may...
Let the honorable member finish.
The above stated office therefore directed the committee to seek the requested information directly from the responsible chief officers. In view of the foregoing, I wish to seek extension for the committee for a further 14 days to enable the committee to complete its assigned task so that we may be able to respond to this statement. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to expound a little bit. Madam Speaker, the Committee on Implementation is seriously facing challenges. We have written so many letters seeking information from various departments, and these are the kind of responses that, Madam Speaker, we've been receiving from the department. A case in example, Madam Speaker, is a motion that was passed in this assembly way back last year from the honorable member of Matu Ward, seeking to have certain services and certain changes undertaken in Matu level 4 hospital. Madam Speaker, we have written letters, we have summoned CECs here, chief officer, and we have up to date not been able to get sufficient. This committee is trying to get so that we can respond to this house. By such aforegoings, Madam Speaker, we have been unable to table fully baked reports in this house because of such. And indeed, it is in that undertaking that, Madam Speaker, as per the directions you gave, Immediately you gave these directions, the following day the secretariat did a letter to the county secretary who's in charge of all departments, so that we might get a response on the same. But the response that he has given us, and in fact it came yesterday, is that he is not in a position, and it is very clear, I am not in the best position to provide the requested statement. So now he has directed us now to seek further clarification on the same from the chief officers. So Madam Speaker, that's why we are come to see further statement, further extension of time, so that right now the secretariat can write letters to the respective chief officers so that they can respond, and then we'll be able to come and respond to the statement that was sought by Honorable Mwanga. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Maida, and I'm sorry for the roadblocks you have met on the way. But I'm wondering if we extend this period for another 14 days, are you going to get the information then?
Now that, Madam Speaker, the letter response by the CS has directed us to seek information from the chief officers,
Chief Officer.
we are going to attach an appendix of the same to all the letters that will be sent to the relevant chief officers, the relevant departments, so that now they can adhere to the direction that has been given by the chief officer, by the county secretary. In the event, Madam Speaker, that information is not responded within the period that you are going to seek it, Madam Speaker, we shall come to seek to report the same to this house, and then you shall give directions to that effect. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Brian, then Honorable Kavio.
Speaker, thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. First of all, the seeker of the motion was not here, that's why I was raising the point. But I understand my brother was...
He was seeking for extension.
Yeah, that's okay. My brother is on record yesterday as saying that we don't read our standing orders. And I also want to tell him that he has not read the standing orders, because there's a very elaborate procedure of how we summon any member of the executive. The first summon, second, third. He should not be coming here whining that he cannot be able to get people to come to the assembly. Otherwise, we will now become a house where we are toothless. The procedure is very clear. You give the first summon, the second, you give the first invitation, second, the third is a what?
A summon.
A summon. A summon is as good as a
court summon.
A court summon.
Yeah.
So, Madam Speaker, let us not come to this assembly, fail to give information under the pretext that we don't know, we are incapacitated as an assembly. Otherwise, we should go home. Our role is oversight. And who are we oversighting? The executive. And the executive understand our standing orders. So if any member of the executive, be he a chief officer or a CC, does not conform to the invitations by the assembly, let the respective committees take the necessary action within the stipulated time, so that they don't have to come and wait last minute to start seeking extension. We were here last week, even in a very serious debate here, talking about refusing an extension. And the minute we refused that extension, the same committee went ahead within 24 hours and produced a report. So, these extensions are becoming the norm. And the minute we accept to become a house which is being managed by the executive on the basis of information being sought, then, Madam Speaker, we are failing. So my point is, I agree with Mheshimiwa. It should have been very specific with they should have taken upon themselves to be very specific with the invitations. And number two, now they should move to the next level and demand that those chief officers or CECs respond. And if they fail to respond, then he should take the necessary action. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Brian. The issue of Honorable Maida was the response they got from the county secretary was directing them to the accounting officer, who is the chief officer. And Honorable Maida is seeking for an extension to address the letter now to the CEO so that we can see how it goes. If there is any problem, then now we can invoke the provisions of our standing orders that says that if you don't turn up and you've been summoned by the assembly for some purpose, then the assembly has the powers equivalent to the ones of the High Court, and they can summon you and have you give a verdict against you that it can be very, very severe, depending on what they reasonably think is the right thing to do. So I believe we have all the machinery with us here, and at this point, I obliged to extend the period requested for a further 14 days so that Honorable Maitha and the committee, they can be able to get the right information from the right people. So therefore, we expect you to bring the report as soon as you are available, you get it. Thank you, members. Could we proceed? I now wish to call upon Honorable Anastasia Mutevu, the Chairperson, Education and Social Services Committee, to come and give a response on status of recruitment of ECD teachers.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mutevu Anastasia.
Who had requested for this statement?
The Honorable Paul Wambua, Don.
Paul is here. Yeah, Paul is here. Proceed.
Statement response on status of recruitment of ECD teachers and distribution of learning and teaching materials to ECD centers. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 41.3 provides that where a member requests for a statement from the committee chairperson relating to matters under the mandate of the committee, the Speaker may either appoint a day for the statement or direct the statement sought must be restricted to the matters within the mandate of the committee and which have been exhaustively dealt with and concluded by the committee, or where the chairperson is authorized by members to issue preliminary reports to the House. Honorable Speaker, on 16th of April 2024, during the morning plenary sitting, a statement on the status of recruitment of ECD teachers and distribution of learning aids to ECD centers across the county by the Honorable Paul Wambua, member of County Assembly, Kibaoni Ward, was sought seeking the following. 1, the number of ECD centers within the county and the status of teacher-learner relation within those ECD centers. 2, whether the department has a scheme of service in place of the recruitment employment of ECD teachers, and if the department has recruited any ECD teachers in the current financial year 2023-2024. Number 3, he sought whether the department has purchased and distributed teaching and learning materials to all ECD centers within the county. Honorable Speaker, in response to the above statement, the committee requested for a response from the Chief Officer Education and ECD Services through a letter dated that on 16th April, and a reference was given on date 24th of April, and the department responded to the aforementioned statement through a letter that dated 29th April 2024 as the follows. Number 1, the number of ECD centers within the county and the status of teacher-learner relation within those ECD centers. Honorable Speaker, the department responded that the Machakos County, in collaboration with other key stakeholders, have constantly recognized the importance of education right from the early learning to other levels of education, and this is not limited to training of learners living within disabilities. Over the years, since inception of devolution, the county government of Machakos have implemented various projects, including construction of ECD centers. As a financial year 2022-2023, The county government had a total of 1.168 ECD centers across the county and is looking forward to constructing and opening more to help learners access education with ease. According to Machakos County pre-primary policy, the ratio of teacher to learner is supposed to be 1:25. However, to shortages of teachers currently, the ratio is averagely ranging between 1:30 and 1:50 ratio of teacher learner. And we have, you see, a attached list of ECD centers tabulated as sub-county and wards in Annexure 1. Number 2, whether the department has scheme of service in place of recruitment, employment of ECD teachers. Honorable Speaker, the department responded that the department has no approved scheme of service yet. However, they have a draft of the same which is in the last stages of preparation. Once approved and adapted, it will be proper guided on the recruitment, ration, deployment, training, promotion, and utilization of our teachers to ensure they meet equality education standards as per the primary policy. And the analysis stipulated before is the proposed distribution of job groups depending on one's qualifications. That is certificate, diplomas, degrees, masters, and PhD, according to the scheme of services. And I have a table there below, and I guess everyone has it. So number 3, whether the department has recruited any ECD teachers in the current financial year. Honorable Speaker, the department responded that the department responded that the department has not yet recruited any teachers in the current financial year 2023-2024. We had a plan of recruiting 100 staffs, VCT trainers, instructors, and ECD teachers. However, due to limited resources, we couldn't get a vote line directly towards staffing. The available 4 million is set to prepare a draft department's policies, VTC and ECD centers, scheme of service and training in the same. It was not voted for salary. Number 4, the honorable member requested to know whether the department has purchased and distributed teaching and learning materials to all ECD centers within the county. Yes, the department did purchase and distribute teaching and learning materials to all ECD centers in the last financial year, 2022-2023, and distribution was done as the below schedule to make sure all our ECD centers received the materials. Is for the current financial year procurement process is on. And I have a very big table on how the ECD centers, the learning materials were delivered per ward. I think members can go through it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Anastasia. And I wish to call upon Honorable Paul Wambua to inform this House whether he is satisfied with the report as given.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I came on this side because my son may be watching me on YouTube, and he may think that I debate alone in the assembly because no one is sitting behind me.
So this is the purposes of your son or the people of Kibaoni?
My son is also belongs also to Kibaoni. Thank you very much. I want to say thanks to my schoolmate, Anastasia, my very beautiful schoolmate, who has taken the shortest time possible to give me a response. So, asante sana for that. Madam Speaker, I think I have been answered. And I have just a few comments, one or two comments.
Sure.
One is the importance of ECDE learning in our learning setup. Madam Speaker, I checked this building and it was opened in 1957 or 1958 thereabout. This building stands today because of the foundation that was set, a strong foundation that was set by the builders then. ECDE is the basic form of learning that sets the standards for our learners going forward. And therefore, its importance cannot be underrated. As a county, on the learner-teacher ratio, we are not doing very well. We are above the ratios that are supposed and are set as per our policies. I would urge the executive, the Department of Education, to ensure that they recruit more teachers to increase the teacher-learner ratio. I have seen in the response that we have 1,500 and something ECD centers. Madam Speaker, if it were for me, I would work hard to make the ECD centers that are there centers of excellence, where our pupils, where our learners feel comfortable, where our learners get quality education. And by quality education, we may do a lot of ECD centers. But if we don't have the personnel to train our children, then we will not be doing any service to those children. The scheme of service that is proposed, I have seen the first level is below all levels. As a member of County Assembly, personally, I would not take my child to a teacher whose level of studies is below all levels. So I would propose that as the department prepares to have this adopted, let the lowest level be all levels, not below all levels. I have seen that materials have been bought, and in the report, they have done crayons, they have done manila papers, and something else that I have seen noted as felt papers. I assumed it is felt pens. Madam Speaker, that is a good start. However, the materials that I would be interested to see in our learning centers are books first, because some of these teachers depend on their experience, but the curriculum is changing every day. We need to upgrade our learning resources as the curriculum changes. Madam Speaker, the other day when I was presenting when I was requesting this statement, I gave a story about a meeting I had with one of my constituents in Kibaoni. This old mzee told me, we are not doing very well as a county at the basic levels of education, which is ECD. He also told me that we are not doing fairly well in the health sector. What he told me was that the result of this, Madam Speaker, let me be, because I'm concluding.
Because even me, I think you are getting out of point. Maybe Honorable Kavyu
Madam Speaker,
could be in my mind as well.
I think, Madam Speaker, your instructions were very clear when you requested the seeker of the statement to appear. Sure. One, it was supposed to give an indication whether he's satisfied or not. And from the discussion or the contribution that he's making, he appears like he was seeking a statement when he already has solutions and answers for what he was seeking for. So those proposals he's trying to give, Madam Speaker, I wish you direct that he brings us a substantive motion so that we can discuss and make a resolution as a house, because he will talk, he will contribute so much, but from the response that has been given, there is not much that we can resolve as a house. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kavu. To the best of my knowledge, Honorable Paul, when you seek for a statement, you are required to get a response. And the only answer you're supposed to give is just that you are satisfied or you are not satisfied. If you are not satisfied, we go back to the drawing table. But now going ultra-vires, you become irrelevant now, and I direct that you conclude your matter by saying that I am satisfied, and you go and sit down, Honorable Member, so that we can proceed to another matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand well guided, and I am satisfied. I am satisfied, and I will take the necessary further stages now, because I'm very well armed to bring a substantive motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Paul Wambua, for that. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. Approval of report on assumption of office of the second governor of Machakos County. Continuation of debate interrupted on 30th of April 2024 at 12:30 p.m.
Thank you, Clerk. At this point, would wish to invite Honorable Penina, who is holding brief for Honorable Phoebe Koki, to take us through in this motion. You're welcome, Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Penina Kisangai, nominated by People's Trust Party, PTP. And a vice chair of this committee. Madam Speaker, this report was tabled in front of this house by Honorable Phoebe Koki. And Madam Speaker, it is in our website. Honorable members have gone through it. So, Madam Speaker, with your permission, with your permission, allow members to speculate on it.
I would just ask you for one thing. I can see the matter was interrupted on 30th of April 2024 at 12:30. What I would request you is just to proceed and maybe read the recommendations once again, to refresh the members on what we refresh the members of what we discussed that time. Then now I'll open the floor for members to debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, you could. I think the recommendations are few. Yeah, you just go through them.
These are the committee's recommendations. Honorable Speaker, following the above general observations, this committee recommends as follows. Roman 1, budget for assumption of office of the governor. The Assembly should, in last financial year of transition of the county government, allocation enough budget proposal to hold the activities required to successfully conduct the assumption of office of the governor. Roman 2, that in formulating the regulation to operationalize the assumption of office of the Governor Act 2019, the CCM County Public Service should consider a specific percentage of the budget allocation under the office of the governor in the financial year of term to cater for assumption of office of the governor's process. Roman 3, that the County Executive Committee members responsible for the County Public Service formulates and submits assumption of governor's regulation to the County Assembly for consideration and approval pursuant to Section 24 of Assumption of Office of Governors Act. Number 4, that in future, all the required information and the departmental handover reports included in the Assumption of Office of the Governor Act 2019 should be annexed to the report on Assumption of Office of Governors Committee before being submitted to the County Assembly for consideration. Acknowledgement and
That is enough. That's all.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Now, members, after your minds have been refreshed, can I invite members now to debate on this matter? Honorable Maida.
Madam Speaker, I want to applaud the Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you.
She's wonderfully articulate, wonderfully articulate. And I think as Honorable Chairs, we need to encourage our Vice Chairs because I am amazed. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa. Madam Speaker, this report was debated here. Members have gone through it. And actually, there's nothing much that can be said other than now implementing the committee recommendations. Madam Speaker, I would request your indulgence, you put the question so that I may proceed as the chair implementation to do and pursue the same. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Maida. I'm well guided. If the matter was debated, then we really don't have much to say. I proceed and put the question. Sorry. I now put the question that this Honorable House adopts the report of the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee on the Assumption of Office of the Second Governor of Machakos County as laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 9th April 2024. As many are of the opinion say aye. As many are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, honorable members. We have come to the end of our session this afternoon. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 14th May, 2024 at 10 a.m. in the morning. See you then, members, God willing.